U.S. taxpayers have made a strong commitment to education. In fact, the U.S. ranks among the top in the world in education spending. In Indiana, for example, 36 cents of every state tax dollar is spent on schooling. With such a substantial investment, it is reasonable for Hoosiers to wonder if their money is being well spent. But how can we know if this money is being used to most effectively prepare young Hoosiers for the world of work or higher education? One way would be to commission an inspector to visit each and every school, to spend time watching teachers teach, to talk to parents, principals, and community members to decide if a school is doing well. But that's expensive and time-consuming. Another way might be to hire a polling agency to randomly call residents and ask how they think the school in their community is doing. Much cheaper, right? But what would we learn from this sort of exercise? Maybe not much. So rather than the most expensive or the least informative, what other options are there? Just as an investor in the stock market reads return on investment statistics and price to earnings ratios as a way to evaluate the health of a company, educational assessments serve as a sensible way to evaluate the health of a school. But, and this is a big qualifier, the ability of an assessment to serve in this capacity depends on two very important things. First, the assessment has to be well suited to the job. For example, an assessment designed to screen students for learning disabilities probably isn't going to do a good job of helping Maria's teacher decide if Maria learned what she needed to in 10th grade math. Similarly, Brady's 5th grade iLearn results aren't going to tell us much about how he'll do in 8th grade. The test isn't designed for that. And second, assessment results have to be interpreted within their natural limits. In other words, assessments are designed to provide educators, parents, and policymakers with the information they need to make some conclusions, but not others. And it's important to know which conclusions you can reasonably draw and which ones you can't. With all that in mind, reasonable folks should agree. Assessments can be a useful tool, but only if we have a group of informed people to keep the assessment process in check. You see, testing companies know the power of assessments and have convinced decision makers that their assessments are the golden ticket to educational success. But testing companies aren't always as transparent about what their assessments can't do or how their assessments are limited. That's why it's important to build a strong assessment literacy foundation so that you can judge for yourself. With an assessment literacy toolbox, teachers, principals, and superintendents can decide, using good evidence, if a given assessment is suited to their needs. They can also read results in valid ways, use assessment results to improve learning, and put the brakes on someone who's making claims that assessment data don't or can't support. At Indiana University, we're developing workshops to help Indiana educators improve their assessment literacy. Tailored to meet the needs of Hoosier educators, our curriculum is based on assessment literacy standards and the results of an extensive survey of educators in Indiana. Through a free workshop, educators will build a strong assessment literacy foundation. These tools will empower educators to critically evaluate assessments and assessment results in a way that best meets the needs of their school. Our program is also designed so that participants have the skills to share their knowledge with their colleagues, to develop education professionals that are armed with state-of-the-art tools to choose and use assessments that support and improve learning. We aren't in the business of selling tests or convincing you that assessments are the silver bullet, but assessments are here to stay, and we want to equip you with the tools you need for your school to survive and thrive.